Hello, I'm Don Cunningham, President and CEO of the Lehigh Valley Economic Development Corporation. We are proud to host every year the Northampton County State of the County Address by Northampton County Executive Lamont McClure. Lehigh Valley Economic Development Corporation is a public-private coalition of private employers, institutions, regional organizations, and large governments across the Lehigh Valley. Every year, we look forward to hearing from Northampton County Executive Lamont McClure on the state of Northampton County. Northampton County had another banner year in 2021 for economic growth, for population growth, and has been helping to drive success across the Lehigh Valley. The Lehigh Valley last year ranked as one of the top 50 manufacturing markets in the United States of America. Our population growth continued, and our economic growth continued, and most importantly, median family income in the Lehigh Valley rose to $66,000 per household, well above both Pennsylvania and the United States. We are able to focus on economic strategy through this coalition of private businesses and governments that was started back in 1995. We're able to do our work because of private money and also public support that we received through the good graces of Northampton County and Lehigh County. Our sponsors for this special program are Workforce Board Lehigh Valley and the Lehigh Valley International Airport. To introduce County Executive McClure, I'd like to welcome Executive Director of Workforce Board Lehigh Valley, Nancy Dishnot.
Thank you, Don. On behalf of the Workforce Board Lehigh Valley, it is my honor to introduce to you our Northampton County Executive, Lamont McClure. As a resident of Northampton County, I remember well the day Executive McClure announced in the Lehigh Valley's very first case of COVID-19. It was March 12, 2020, and COVID-19 was discovered in our county. Our county executive asked us all to remain calm, to make sure to use good hygiene, and limit interactions with the elderly and other compromised individuals in our population. He assured us that he was in close contact with the governor's office, and as soon as he was provided information, he would share it with us, and he did. More than 2 years have passed, and more than 79,000 COVID cases were detected in Northampton County alone. As we all navigated the unpredictable life we led, we had one constant: County Executive McClure. When asked recently what he is most proud of in his 4+ years of service, Executive McClure named the 3 consecutive budgets passed without a real estate property tax and creating the Pandemic Protection Plan to include the Small Business Rescue Program that assisted nearly 1,700 small businesses in Northampton County by granting over $25 million for their survival. He is an attorney by training, served as a member of Northampton County Council from 2006 to 2013, fighting for open space preservation. His philosophy for county government is about providing services for the most vulnerable people and protecting land for future generations. To provide the Northampton County State of the County Address, please welcome Northampton County Executive Lamont McClure.
Hello, I'm Northampton County Executive Lamont McClure, and I'm honored to have the chance to speak with you today about all of the great things that are happening in Northampton County. Thank you to LVEDC for hosting and sponsor Workforce Board Lehigh Valley. Welcome to those in attendance. It's been a rough couple of years for our families, for our communities, and for our country. One very important lesson this pandemic has taught us is when a crisis appears, don't ignore it. Do what you can to get in front of it. That way you'll have enough time to handle all of your regular business as well as taking on new projects to improve the lives of people you serve. Here in Northampton County, we continue to make progress despite the challenges posed by COVID-19. When the warning bells of a novel respiratory virus began to sound, Northampton County moved quickly, setting up a drive-through testing center first at Easton Hospital and now at its current location, Coordinated Health in Bethlehem Township. The drive-through center not only increased access to testing, it provided an important option for people with mobility issues, as well as limiting exposure for those with compromised immune systems. When vaccines became available, we added that option for our citizens. We closed Graysdale Nursing Home and Northampton County Prison to visitors and volunteers and began vaccinating residents and staff as soon as the shots became available. Our staff at Graysdale and NCP have done a tremendous job following state and CDC guidelines and getting vaccinated as soon as the shots became available. This helped prevent transmission of the virus and kept the number of cases among the residents under control. The last cases reported at each facility were in early February, right at the end of the Omicron surge. Now that cases are trending lower, we've been able to reopen Graysdale to family and compassionate visits. Work release and educational programs like LEAP, or linking to employment activities pre-release, has restarted at the county jail. While the respiratory illness COVID causes it bad, it isn't the only pandemic we are currently battling. The stress we've all experienced these last 2 years has caused our nation's drug-related overdoses to surge. In the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, there's been a 4.54% increase in deaths related to heroin and other opioids just in the last year. Fentanyl is the new threat to our long-running battle against addiction. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid 80 to 100 times more powerful than morphine. It was developed for the pain management and the treatment of cancer patients, but it's now commonly available on our streets. Many users believe they are purchasing heroin when in fact they're purchasing fentanyl. The resulting overdoses and deaths are tragedies which affect individual families as well as collective mental health. Many illegal drugs, including heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine, started to be laced with fentanyl around 2014. We can see this in the data compiled by our county coroner, where the average number of overdose deaths rose from 33 before 2014 to 84 after 2014, a 155% increase. Recently, Pennsylvania and Northampton County reached a settlement of $1 billion from pharmaceutical distributors, which fueled the nationwide opioid epidemic. Northampton County's share of that settlement is approximately $11 million, and we have put a spending plan in place to raise awareness about the dangers of opioid addiction, as well as increasing services for those currently on a path to recovery. Prevention efforts will concentrate on younger residents, with school programs focusing on students, athletes, coaches, and parents. We will distribute short films and videos on the dangers of vaping and fentanyl. Our recovery efforts will be expanded. We are going to make all of our recovery centers handicap accessible, with defibrillators available at every site. Danny's Ride, a car service for people who need transportation to treatment or other services, will be offered. Job training classes will be added to the Fab Lab at the Fowler Center in Bethlehem, and certified recovery specialists will staff college counseling offices. We are looking to add intervention services, something which hasn't been widely available in this area previously. To help the recently recovered stay clean, $300,000 in scholarship funds will be made available for living expenses for newly sober individuals. Overcoming addiction is hard, but here in Northampton County, we will not leave anyone behind. If this is an issue that affects you or someone you love, I encourage you to seek information and support at our Rally in the Valley event at Steel Sacks on September 11th. If you need help, we're going to do everything we can to connect you to a program that will get you on the path to recovery. Another resource that we are looking into establishing is our own health bureau. This idea has been explored in the past, but the pandemic highlighted the benefits such an institution has to offer. Advantages including addressing infectious disease such as tuberculosis and HIV, as well as providing support for chronic conditions such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Northampton County is made up of cities, suburbs, and farmland. We value all of our communities and residents no matter where they live or livelihoods they pursue. The beauty of having our own health bureau is that we could be assured that our rural areas would receive just as much focus as our inner cities. We are studying the issue now to make sure the costs justify the benefits. First responders have a critical role in protecting the public health, and our police, fire departments, and emergency management services and other organizations have shown true heroism throughout this crisis. While these services are traditionally provided by municipalities, Northampton County knew that it was important to support these organizations when the COVID-19 crisis arrived on our doorstep and began to affect our communities. We started the EMS and Grow Norco grant programs in 2020 to assist municipalities and nonprofits so they could interact safely with the public. Initially, the programs paid for the installation of plexiglass barriers, ventilation systems, personal protective equipment, and technology to hold virtual meetings. Since then, we've expanded it to cover police radios, emergency vehicles, fire security equipment, building improvements, cameras, and all other things nonprofit organizations need to properly protect the public. Grants of up to $50,000 can make a big difference in the ability of a municipality to serve its residents. In 2021, the county distributed approximately $2.8 million to 63 organizations for 87 projects. This money has kept people employed, as well as making sure our police and fire departments have the equipment they need when they need it. The pandemic has been challenging not only to our lives, but our livelihoods. We live in a confusing time where many people struggle to pay for rent, food, and gas, while others wait months with cash in hand to purchase cars or home improvement materials. Inflation is up, unemployment is down. While I'm sure professors of economics are having a great time studying the chaos, living with it has been unpleasant and frightening for too many of our residents. However, Northampton County has weathered this crisis better than other areas of the nation. We continue to be a prime destination because of our high quality of life, a thriving business community, extensive parks and trail systems, good schools, and easy access to major metropolitan areas. In 2021, the Lehigh Valley ranked 8th in economic growth nationwide, metro areas with a population of 200,000 to 1 million. Anyone who drives through our county knows that this is a popular spot to do business. In the last 5 years, 75 projects were completed in Northampton, representing $1.6 billion in investment, creating or retaining nearly 9,000 jobs. Growth, while good for the economy, comes with consequences, such as increased traffic and rising cost of living. As Will Rogers once said, "Buy land, they're not making it anymore." While it's better to experience an economic boom rather than a bust, long-term county residents are seeking a counterbalance to the expansion. That's why I've prioritized our farmland preservation program and purchase of open space and parkland in our budgets. To date, Northampton County, the Commonwealth, and our municipalities have invested $51 million in farmland preservation since 1993. We are on our way to celebrating our 250th farm and 20,000th acre of preserved farmland. In 2022, we will invest $1 million in farmland preservation and $3 million for open space. To prevent warehouse proliferation and to ensure our children and grandchildren can continue to benefit from Northampton County's long traditions of farming, fishing, hunting, and other outdoor activities, I have given precedence to protecting open space and environmentally sensitive land. Since 2018, we've added 3 new county parks, purchased land to link our trail systems, and preserved 297 acres. Open space, trails, and parkland are beneficial on a number of levels, even for those residents who never set foot on an unpaved surface. Air quality is becoming a concern in our area. The more land we can protect from warehouses, the fewer trucks and their pollution they will produce will foul our air. Open space mitigates floods, improves water quality, retains soil, and provides a habitat for pollinators and wildlife. Trees and plants purify our air, lower healthcare costs, and minimize damage to agricultural areas. To a developer, preserved land may look like nothing more than a lost opportunity, but just residing next to a protected area puts money in your wallet by raising the value of your house. People will pay more to live near a trail or a park. Those from outside our area travel here to enjoy our mountains, lakes, and streams. Outdoor recreation brings tourists and their dollars to our area, boosting our economic activity and helping maintain 4,500 jobs. Fishing is the most impactful outdoor activity in America, with hunting close behind. To hang on to those jobs, we must protect our land and our waterways. I see Northampton County's future as green, green for the environment and green for the economy. That is why I and my administration will continue to seek opportunities to preserve open space and farmland, which will help balance our economic activity with our quality of life. I understood from the start of the pandemic, small businesses would be adversely affected. Small businesses are the biggest driver of our economy. That is why our Department of Community and Economic Development made providing grants of up to $15,000 to small businesses a top priority, first with CARES Act funding and again with money from the American Rescue Plan. Recipients include restaurants, gyms, florists, dance studios, hair salons, and many other businesses, which increase our quality of life. As of March 2022, Northampton County has distributed almost $25 million to 1,883 businesses. The grants can be used for rent, payroll, and other operation expenses. Many recipients have contacted me to say the support was essential to keeping their doors open and their staff employed. Thanks to the American Rescue Plan passed in 2021, Northampton County will receive an additional $30 million this year, and we've planned carefully on how to spend it to get the biggest benefits in public health and economic stimulus. $5 million will be used to expand and improve communications at our 911 center. $2 million will go to supplying affordable housing, and $1 million will be used to remove lead paint from residential housing and in the water supply pipes. $15 million will go to Graysdale Nursing Home. Long-term care facilities across the nation were hit especially hard. First, because they serve some of the most vulnerable members of our community, and second, because of the stress our employees experienced in caring for the residents during a pandemic while dealing with a shortage of staff. $12 million will be used to address nursing staff costs. $2 million will be used to build a daycare center on site, which will be an important enticement for parents to work at Graysdale, and $1 million will be used for capital projects. The pandemic put more pressure on Graysdale than any other county agency. Nursing homes care for the most vulnerable in our society, as well as some of the most susceptible to infectious diseases like the coronavirus. Graysdale employees have shown amazing courage and dedication over the last 2 years. We've done everything we can to protect our staff and residents by adhering to CMS guidelines, offering vaccination clinics as soon as the shots became available, and even bringing in the National Guard a few times to give our employees a well-deserved break. We also instituted a system for hazard incentive pay, and so far have paid out over $3.3 million in compensation to employees for the risks they've faced on the job. Our biggest challenge now, like most employers in America, is finding enough workers. We've introduced a number of incentive programs at Graysdale, including tuition assistance, job training, and flexible hours. And thanks to vaccines, we've been able to bring our volunteers back. Graysdale enjoys a large base of community support, which I know the staff and residents appreciate. Graysdale is one of the jewels of Northampton County. It takes care of our most vulnerable residents at a time in their lives when they can no longer care for themselves. A responsible government doesn't just take care of its constituents in the present, it plans to take care of them in the future. That is why we are working so hard to make sure the institutions our residents rely on today will be in place 20, 30, and even 50 years from now. That is why we are working to protect open space and farmland and to help our small business community stay prosperous and vibrant. To make sure our first responders, police, fire, and EMS organizations have the equipment and personnel they need as we head into new decades. We are all in this together, and the success of one of us contributes to the success of all of us. It's been a rough 2 years, but if we keep the focus on protecting our economy, our environment, and our citizens, I believe there are better times ahead. I'd like to thank LVDC, Workforce Board Lehigh Valley, the wonderful Lehigh Valley International Airport, and it's wonderful to be here with you today.